Alright, so we're back, and I think I figured out my problem. We had to winterize this last year, or this previous winter, because we were not going to be living in the house as soon as we would have liked. So we moved in probably a few months ago in the middle of summer, and we had this winterized. So it means it was drained because nobody was going to be here to keep fire in it throughout our negative 18 temperatures up here. And so we didn't want the lines to freeze or any of that good stuff. Came back to fill it, and we started having boiling over at the top, as you can see. You might have seen this in the previous video. And what I think it is, I think it's a good pump, but I think when it was reinstalled, it was reinstalled backwards. And here's why. This is a taco pump, or a lot of people call them taco pumps. I had no identification markings on it. I found the marker on the ground, actually. So I got my information from here, looked it up. There's no instructions on how to install this thing. Common sense says the arrow is the direction of flow. Right here. See this arrow? Is the direction of flow. Here's the problem. You look at all these charts and all these diagrams, okay? Now I have a 5036. This is a central boiler. 5036. What does that say? 6048. I'm sure they're the same, but all this is for a 6048. So, and even looking at this, there's no instructions telling you which way the flow is supposed to be going. So, naturally assumed that the previous owner had this pump hooked up, because he said it was working, and he said everything was working just fine and no problems and this and that. Well, we're looking at this, and you can see it's been in this position for quite a while. I mean, it's indented into the foam. There's the outline for the box and everything. But according to Central Boiler, this pump is supposed to be pushing down. You want the arrow facing down, not up, because that makes sense. This is the return line. This is the cold water from the house coming back into the boiler. Why would this be pushing water into the boiler as well? It's supposed to be going hot water through the pump into the house. That could very well be our problem. So please, please, please make sure you know which one's your return and which one's your supply. And I think that's our problem. I'm going to try and reverse this and see if that changes anything. Alright? So if you're having circulation problems, or if you feel like the pipes inside your house are not getting hot, this may be the reason. Check it. Alright. I'm going to check this out and I'll get back to you. Okay, here we are. We've spent about 20 minutes trying to reverse this pump. There's a lot of insulation back there which make those bolts hard to get to. It looks like it's seated pretty well. The only way to find out is to actually open the valves. I'm a little nervous only because the water inside is super hot. So I'm going to go ahead and open this valve here slowly. Wish I could do it from a distance. Try not to burn myself, because all this is super hot. I'm doing it a little bit at a time, because if it has a leak, it will spray. I don't know if you can hear that. That's air bubbles going up into the boiler. Okay, so we got that one fully opened. Not a wuss, I just don't want to get burned. And we're going to see what happens when I open this valve here. Again, doing it slowly. Alright, so that valve is open. This one's all the way open. I'm hearing some rumbling in there. Now, remember I said this thing was full yesterday. You probably won't be able to see this, but I'm going to go ahead and turn this valve. And now we're just right here. It was shooting out of the top of that yesterday. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go turn the breaker on. And we're going to fire this pump up and see if we can get any kind of action happening inside the basement. We're still steaming quite a bit at the top. I'm going to put that vent cap back over it, and we'll go from there. Alright, stand by.